So at this point, you're going to be mixing colors, and oops, I just moved the camera. As you can see, I have my colors out here, what I do have with me, and I have a big tube of white, and I've been kind of messing around a little bit. I do have a palette knife. You should have a white plastic palette knife that came in your kit. If not, you can just use a white plastic knife, like from a to-go box from the restaurant, or probably just use a regular knife and clean it off, a butter knife. You're gonna need some paper towels, so I'm about to get some more, and water, and palette paper. You're gonna need these little cups. These are 1 ounce cups, and I'm going to show you what I've been doing here. So basically, I'm about to make a chart. If you can see this real quickly, I'm going to show an example of just a gradient from one value to another value and back again. I'm going to do a gradient with 2 different hues doing the same thing, moving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. A reverse gradient, which is what you see here, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4 goes in that direction, and 1, 2, 3, 4 goes in that direction, so they're going in reverse directions. And every other gradient, meaning that the gradient will move, but the one color will stay the same. I'm also going to show a few other tricks or methods, strategies that you can use within your finished design, and those will come in videos down the road. For now, I'm just going to show you how to use your palette as a experimental area, so you can kind of just make some quick values and try some things out, get some color relationships going, stuff like that. So right now I've committed to, I have this pretty cool color. I don't know if you might, some of you might have this, some of you might not. It's kind of like a, it's a very cool red-violet, quinacridone magenta. And you can also use, there's also cadmium red, but that's more on the warmer side. And then there's violet oxide, which is another violet, but it's kind of be more like alizarin or crimson. So I chose this, and then I also chose a yellow-green. And again, unless you purchase a yellow-green tube of paint, you're gonna have to make your own. And what makes a nice yellow-green, I have, can't see here, but it's Liquitex, and it's a Viridian hue. For Viridian green, I mean, the Viridian hue just means it's a cheaper version, but it's fine. High viscosity, no, I'm sorry, I read the wrong thing. But Viridian green is thin in terms of transparency, but it's really potent in terms of color. So a touch of green and a lot of yellow will make a really intense yellow green. So you can kind of see how intense this yellow green is. And I also had this other green, it's called Brilliant Green, you might have that. And I used that with yellow, and I got some good examples from it. That could have worked as well, but as long as you have a warm, cool relationship, then you can have these nice stripe relationships within your finished concentric design. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mix my first values. Now, because I only have 10 cups right here, and I'm waiting in Amazon for the rest of them, I'm gonna save 2 for something else, and I have 8 left. So that means I'm just gonna do a value range of 4 of this pink color, and a value range of 4 of this yellow-green. I'm sorry, red-violet. And how I'm gonna go about that is I'm gonna use my palette knife, and if you don't have a palette knife, you can always just squeeze paint into here, put a touch of the red in there, and then just mix it up and just try to make sure it's evenly mixed. That's super important. Another approach right here. Now, the reason why instead of using the traditional palette approach, I'm just kind of mixing in a section. I think that should be enough. Remember, you only have so much white, so you gotta be, but you also need, if you use a lot of this in your painting, you're gonna need at least half, if not more. And I think that might be there. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this color, put a little bit here, and then I'm gonna start to mix it in. Now this should be dry, so I'm not really worried about it. Now the reason why I'm doing this here is because you can evenly mix the color up. And you kind of see I have a little bit of value, and I always want you to start from light to dark. Don't go dark to light. Always, whenever you make your value scales, go from dark to light. When you mix this up, you're gonna have to mix a big batch of a lot of yellow, a touch of green, mix it up like I'm doing now, and then that's gonna be your source, just like I'm stealing from here, to turn the color of this red violet. And I made myself a value scale here as a guide. I don't have to be perfect to it, but I can keep it as a guide and just kind of bring my, I go over there and just dab a little bit and see if it's close. Now remember, this will dry darker than what it is right now, so it's probably gonna get closer to that, but I'm just gonna add a touch more. Now I think the next approach, I'm gonna try the other method. So now I'm gonna just pick this up, scoop it in there. Don't have much room. If I were to do this over again, I would just start a new fresh sheet here. Now, every bit of this counts. Again, these are 1 ounce cups. You don't need anything more than that. You have little tops here. What I recommend doing, after you do this, make sure you wipe it off immediately. Just gonna wipe the top here. And then I'm gonna put my top back on. After I do that, what would be smart, you could just, I don't have a marker right now, but what you could do is just get a little piece of tape, put it here, put a little piece of tape on the side, and mark it number 1, and then mark it number 1. That way you know that's your number 1 value. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna make 2, 3, 4, 5. As you're doing this though, I'm cleaning this. I don't know if you guys can see me clean this. Again, do not leave this brush out. It will dry and you'll ruin your brush and you'll have to go get another one, and that is a pain in the rear end. So, have it nice and dry now. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a quick little tester. I could probably use more than that, to be honest, but I think it's okay for the moment. And I'm gonna start to make a new value scale. I'm gonna put my value scale right here. And I'm just starting to make a new value scale. That's my number 1. And then the next one's gonna be a 2. And you wanna gradually move up, just like we did in class, in terms of your value scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, everything is a gradual jump from the next. You can go up to 5, go up to 5. That might give you more options in the other design. And again, wait till you figure out your design a little bit, or a section of it, and then you can start to make your gradients. Just don't start making a bunch of gradients and hope for the best. You wanna plan your design out because you only have so much white, so much color. You don't wanna just waste things. And again, you want to use your palette as an area to explore color relationships, just to do a quick little value scale possibly, or to do a quick little reverse gradient, because you can mix and do it really quickly. This is going to use a lot of paint, so I wouldn't mix these up and then experiment, because you might not use it and you wasted all of that paint. So that's what the palette's for in this case. And then I can't stress enough to keep this clean. I've even had some people put conditioner on it after they're finished and then wash it off when they start again. And it kind of keeps the hairs nice and soft. All right, well, that's that for now.